Hello everybody and welcome to this brief DX2 overview video. So if you are joining us for the first time on these videos, do check out some of the other videos if you'd like to see some more of the features on DX2. So what we have here is our My Company page. Essentially this page is where you would keep all your company information, where you can upload your trading partners. So for the purpose of DX2, we do call our suppliers trading partners. There is an upload arrow where you can upload a batch upload of your trading partners. And as you would expect on an upload, you would browse your file explorer and you would select the file from your desktop. Sometimes you do have some trading partners that you'd like to add just one at a time. You can do so here. And of course, you've got an area where you can also add your users. So on the left hand here, we have access to all our other modules. And I've got the ability to create an invoice, a manual invoice, or create a manual credit note. So let's take a look at what these entail. So starting from the top, my document page. On this page, I can see all my documents. The search bar is really handy. It can search based on everything that's within the document. So if I had ordered sushi and I'd like to search on where I ordered sushi from, I could just type in sushi. And these will be the suppliers that I have used to order sushi. On my documents page, you have a couple of views. You've got the view that we've got now, or you can have the tile view. So it's really a preference. And it's per user, so you can do as you wish with your login. Capture invoice relates to the area where our invoices are either sent to or uploaded. And this is where we can select an invoice to capture. And if we click into the invoice, it gives us the template, if it is a template that we've created previously. Distribution summary is used when you have got a supplier that you'd like to split or merge document lines. And if we take a look at this one here, so this is a great example. Let's say you've got an invoice that pertains to multiple departments within your organization, and you'd like to accurately code that invoice. You've got the opportunity here to either merge lines. You could give them a description at this point, and you could select your account code. Now what you are also able to do is put in your analysis tag for your department. Just like you're able to merge these lines, you can actually split a distribution line. So you can just select the line and split it. And at this point, you can add as many departments or as many lines as required. And you always see the outstanding amount. So you can actually come through, pick a percentage, and then move on to your next and your next. Now, our approvals page. This is where you would come in to either code your documents or approve your documents. Of course, this is again reliant on what access you have within DX2, whether you are a coder, whether you are an approver, or whether perhaps you're in the accounts team or that is enlisted with maintaining this area, so you would be part of the administration. So on this page, you also have an interesting sidebar. So the reason I say interesting, because this is where we can, relate a document to another document. You might have a credit note, or you may have a packing slip or a purchase order that you'd like to relate to this particular document, and you can do so here. Also, if you did have something on your desktop that you'd like to upload, or perhaps this is also part of another invoice and you'd like to select something that you've previously captured on DX2. And of course, you can see all the information relating to this document. Now, if we click on the message area, this is also a nice area. This is where your user is able to communicate with other users within your environment. If you were to mention a user, you could select which user you'd like to use. And this would automatically send them a message. So what would occur here is that the user that you've sent a message to would receive an email, and they would say that there is a message or a notification that they need to take a look at within their DX2 environment. So they could come in and they could communicate back on their messaging panel, and you would be able to see this here. It's great because it eliminates the use of messy email chains where you need to follow up. You can do all your following up on a document on your DX2 instance. Security groups. So as an administrator, as you can see, there's no three little dots here. Because I'm an administrator, I'm Ellie, I'm in this group, and I can see everything. Now, if you needed to restrict some access, you would create a security group. You would give the security group a name, a description to your security group, and as you can see here, there are some little areas, and they all have a little explanation below them. And these are the roles and permissions that you assign to each user when you add them to DX2. Our next stop is integrations. These are your front-end mechanics of your portal. Any changes made here can impact your existing documents. For this reason, we do recommend access be restricted using the roles and permissions. So let's take a look. First off, we have your transforms. So transforms are the areas where we liaise between your DX2 instance and your ERP system. And this is basically where we write all the details for what we want reflected in the ERP. With value mapping, you have the option of saying, as an example, if I receive a document from Quick Catering, this should be sent through to department sales. And of course, you can also have it using item codes and so on. So the rules relate to how your document is processed. On your documents page, you can always see that there's a timeline. That timeline relates to the rule that's being used. And as you can see here, I have a rule, and this rule relates to my purchase order approvals. And this is the steps that it needs to take. Further down onto the connectors. These are exactly what they say. They are the connections between DX2 and a particular system. Now let's take a look at the Administration tab. Here the administrator will spend some time initially setting up the portal for the users. While this is a one-time setup, you will be able to still come through and add any additional details as required. So the approval chains are the chains that do the groundwork for who's going to approve each document. So as an example, you'll see here that I have only a few approval chains, but I do have some masks around them. And when I say masks, I do refer to the 102-***. So what I'm basically saying, for this approval chain, I only want department 102 and 103 to have access to documents relating to this chain. So I would then have a chain of approvers. And these will be the people that will receive the document to approve and approve them. Now this is does require a bit of setup and also requires a little bit of business discovery, and that is something that you will go over with your DX2 consultant during your training sessions, so that you can come up with the right combination of approval chains and security groups within those approval chains. Your account codes are also maintained here. Generally, what would happen is you would do a tidy up of your ERP system, and the account codes that you do use for your expenses would be the ones that you would upload here. Account codes that are used in DX2 need to exist in your ERP system. So that is one thing that you need to keep in mind, that anything that you add to your ERP system, you need to update in DX2 and vice versa. So if we take a look at supplier codes, we saw trading partners previously, and you would have the ability to, in your upload, add your supplier codes, or you can come through and add them here. If you do have customer codes, if you're using DX2 to send out invoices rather than just receive invoices, this does require, again, a little bit of setup, and that is something that we could discuss within a business discovery session. Analysis tags. With analysis tags, you do have the required analysis tags, and these are where you are using suggestions for Xero, or you might be using dimensions within Business Central. Each ERP system has its own name for analysis tags, and some of these tags can either be on a document level, so they only exist on DX2 platform for your own reporting, or they might be analysis tags that you require, like a combination of your region and your department, and these are sent through to your ERP system. So auto approval, this is an area that refers to your purchase ordering area, and this will be covered during the overview of DX2 Purchase. And your document filter, this is the area where you might have some sensitive documents and you would not like everyone to view them, or you have a requirement for certain users to view certain documents. So this is something that you would discuss with your DX2 consultant, and we would assist with your first setup, and then after that point you are able to set up all your others. And let's take a quick look at the manual invoice. So manual invoice is it's a nice little area within DX2. It's useful for customers that would like to have their users create invoices. May have received an invoice from the plumber and it's handwritten, and you'd like it to be in a DX2 digital format. At this point, you would enter in all the details relating to it. You could select your trading partner from this area. You would not then have to fill in all the details. And of course, it would auto-generate your to area, and you just need to come in and put in your document number. Now, once you've completed this page, you could still attach the a image of the manual invoice to this, and then your manager could see what they are actually approving. Credit notes. Credit notes are great because generally you have received an invoice from the supplier, so you could load your existing invoice and then just use the credit note against it, and then everything is actually there. Just change your quantities on what you are crediting, or you could be crediting the full invoice. On DX2, we do have a nice little DX2 feedback button. If you did notice that there is something that you'd like to bring to our attention, or perhaps it's a suggestion for an improvement, or you just want to show us what you mean, you could use this area where you can either record the screen, and then you can go ahead and do what you need. Thank you for watching this DX2 overview. Stay tuned for some of our other videos.